Hello, everyone. This is Cindy from Cindy's Creative Cards, and we've had a bit of a technical issue, and I'm late starting, but I am here. So, I would like to get started and to show you a really special holiday card. You can see right here that it is very traditional in its colors, and it has the traditional holly berry, pine leaves, pine cones, and berries. Um, and this is a card that I made when I was trying to decide if I wanted to use this stamp set. Hi, Susan. I appreciate you being here, and I thank you for letting me know that I was not live. I taught for 25 minutes, guys, showing you how to stamp pine cones, and then was informed that I wasn't live. So I'm hoping that this is going to go a bit smoother. Let me get the frog out of my throat. So anyway, I'm going to now show you what I did and what I'd like to do with this card, because I think it can be better. The background here, I cut out with the seasonal label dies, and I used the Christmas season stamp set for all these holly berries and the pine needles and the pine cones and the leaves. And it is in the annual catalog right here on page 44. Now, I think this set has sort of gone to the wayside, and people are not remembering what a lovely set this is, because this set is truly amazing. It has dies that go with it. Here's the stamp set. And the dies are great even if you didn't use the stamp set, because it has all of these labels that are different sizes, the small ones up to the large one. And this large one is the one that I used on my card, and it just sort of seemed to disappear. And this was the one that I used for the sentiment. You have different sizes here, and then you have the dies to cut out the leaves and the berries and the hollies, holly leaves and the holly berries that you stamp from the stamp set. So I'm going to slide this to the side. This also is in the annual catalog, so you can get that there. Now, the greeting sentiment that I used, Season's Greetings, it comes from a stamp set that is also in this annual catalog. It's the next page right here. It is Christmas to Remember, and it has some beautiful sentiments that you can use on your cards this season and for seasons to come. So I'm going to be using Season's Greetings, or I can't remember. I may have done Merry Christmas. I did Merry Christmas right here. But on this card, I put Season's Greetings. Now, the paper that I used here was some paper, some DSP that was available last year or possibly the year before. I'm not sure. But when I was making this first card to decide how I wanted to do it and what I wanted to show you, I decided to use my old DSP, and I do like it. I think it's so pretty with all of this pine needles and berries and leaves and pine cones. These jewels were also last year's. It was the holiday rhinestones, but in the catalog for this year, in the annual catalog, I believe it is, they have, and I have so many notes for myself, red rhinestones right here. And this is on page 142. So it will work instead of the ones that I use that were retired. Okay, so this bow, this came from, didn't have any Stampin' Up! Ribbon or burlap to use. So I ordered from Amazon. And if you'll notice, once this is tied, it sort of glistens. I don't know if you can see it online or not, but it does glisten. I think that this card would be so pretty with the pine cones tipped in gold and maybe a little shimmer on the berries. But I really don't like the way this white background, it just needs something else. And so that is going to be different in the card we're going to make tonight. Okay, let me slide this to the side. Okay, so for tonight's card, I decided I would use the Lights Aglow specialty paper, and it is in the mini catalog. I'm going to just move it to the side. And it is right here. It is part of this Lights Aglow collection kit, this beautiful kit. Here's the paper that I got. It's Lights Aglow 6x6 specialty designer paper, and it's on page 31 in the mini catalog. Now, you know our mini catalog will no longer be in effect at the end of, after the end of December. We're getting a new mini catalog in January, and we also will be having a celebration at that time as well. So look forward to that. If you do not have a catalog, set of catalogs, I would be happy to send you the new catalogs. I just ask that you pay $2.25 for the shipping. Anyway, I would be happy to get one out to you. All you have to do is just email me. And you can do that on my new website. My new website, let me put my face up here so I can talk to you. My new website is cindyscreativecards.com. And on there, you're going to find my email. You will find my blog, my newsletters sign up, subscription sign up. And you will also find my online store. Now, when I say online store, I'm talking about my online store. You can also access the Stampin' Up! Website through my website. But my online store will have finished products that I have created and that are for sale. It is not live at this time, but when it goes live, we're going to be having a grand opening. So I want you to look out for that and to make sure to visit. These papers right here, and get back to this, these Lights Aglow papers, they are beautiful. I love this one with the Christmas trees that are all lit up. But these papers are just perfect for holiday crafting in the traditional colors. So those are the papers that I used tonight. Now, when I was having my flub up, I went ahead and layered my papers. So I'm going to tell you what I did. I used the craft card base, and it was scored at 5 1/4. The size of this is a standard A2 size. It is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. This paper that comes from the Lights Aglow was 5 1/4 by 4. Then this one was cut down to, I think, I can't remember. I had it written before. I'm going to measure it for you. It is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Let me look at this again. 4 1/8 by 3 3/8. This white one was 3 by 4 1/4. And then the soft succulent that I cut out with the stitch rectangles, it was 2 1/2 by 4. Okay, so we just have layers that get smaller and smaller in size. Now, I put this white behind the soft succulent because I thought it needed a little definition. And as you can see here, here's the difference. We're going to have this background instead of this plain white background. Okay, now I wanted to show you about stamping the pine cones. It's a 2-layer stamp set method. And in the Christmas season stamp sets, you'll see there is this big one where it's filled in more, and it's going to be your base layer. This one gives a little more definition. The same is true for the smaller pine cones down here. Hello, Maria. I am so glad that you're here. Okay, so I am going to use the larger one as the base, and I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to get my block, which is a D, and here is the larger one that is going to be our base. And we're going to use a lighter color, and I chose Crumb Cake. Okay, so I'm going to make sure it is inked up. Press that down. Okay, so here's our Crumb Cake. I'm going to clean the stamp set here with my chamois that I've got inside of a card case. Oh, that sound. That hurts your ears. Okay, now I'm going to get the next stamp, which is going to give it a little more definition. And I'm going to use my Early Espresso for this. And then I'm going to go right over it. And here we have our pine cone. It's really easy to do. It really makes a punch when you look at it on a card. Okay, so I did that also for the small set. I've already cut that out for sake of time, but I did want to tell you that this stamp set, all that you stamp in here, you can be cut out with the mini cut and emboss machine, which is what I used. It is a workhorse and just fits so nicely on your work table without taking up much room at all. Okay, so here's what I did. I put all my things in here so I wouldn't lose them. I did my 2 pine cones in the Crumb Cake and Early Espresso. I did the pine, pine twigs, pine straw, pine needles, that's it, with the Evening Evergreen. I wanted the colors to be just a tad different. I did the berries with shaded spruce. And look, I love the way this berry stamp does, where you get a little bit of the white showing, little tiny lines to show that the sunlight is probably hitting there. And then I used cherry cobbler for the berries, and I used early espresso for the twig. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to stamp this for you and show you, because it took me a little bit to figure this out. I couldn't figure out one of the dies. It just didn't make sense to me. And then finally, when I started looking at the stamp set, I realized that this is the twig that the berries go on, instead of the berries just being by themselves. Now, you can cut this out separately, but you can also stamp it where you can die cut it together and save your cutting time. So here's my twig, and I got ink on my finger. And as Text Stampin' Sharon says, use your hand sanitizer. That will keep ink from transferring to your projects. So I'm going to wipe them off with my baby wipe, and then I'm going to use just a bit of hand sanitizer. Excuse me there. And make sure that I don't get ink on my project. Now I'm going to clean this off. And then I am going to get the berries. Here you go, right here. Now, for the berries, I'm using cherry cobbler. Now, what you have to do is figure out exactly how this lines up. There we go. And now you can cut that out as one unit instead of cutting out the twigs and then cutting out the berries. Marie, I hope that you did not come and you couldn't find us when I was doing all of this and not realizing I wasn't live. I'm glad you found us. Okay, so like I said, I cut out all of this for the sake of time. Put that to the side. And I'm going to bring this in. All right. I decided the best thing to do here was decide the placement of my pine cones. And I wanted it to go sort of like that. I wanted holly berries, the leaves going like this. Now, it's sort of hard to decide which is the tip of this leaf and which is the base. But I think because this seems to be thinner, I'm going to call it the tip. And here's the other one. I'll stick it in like that. I place everything down and then glue it because I want to get the right placement. Oh dear. Okay, it's time for my medicine. That's my husband's alarm. It goes off to let me know that I need to get my medicine because I cannot remember it. All right, so I'm going to sort of stick that out like that. It does not want to do what I want it to do here. Stay where I want it to stay. Maybe put some berries in here. And have some sticking out over here. Oh, it's just lighting up where I can't get to it. Okay, so I tell you what, let's start gluing. Now, I am going to actually glue the side of this to this pine cone because I know I want them to position sort of like this. Then I am going to put dimensionals, and that way we can slide all of this up underneath it. There we go. Well, I'm glad you joined us, Maria, even though I hope it didn't cause a problem with you being notified in class. All right. Now, I am going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to get these little papers off the top to reveal the sticky underneath. It's sticky because I'm getting it all over me. Okay, I'm going to put this right here in the corner, like that. I'm not going to push too hard because I want to be able to add, move it if I need to. So I'm going to put, well, I thought I was going to put it up under there. I'll put that right there. And I'm going to balance it out on the other side with this one. And I think that's the point. So we'll slide that right there. Then I want my spruce needles that I used even in evergreen to stamp. The holly leaves I stamped in shaded spruce. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to stick this one right there. Okay, now we need to put our berries. I'm going to put, I think, one right in there, like that. And then I want this one to be a little more visible, so I'm going to put it, let's see, right there, like that. Okay, so now this does hang off just a bit, so we'll slide that over. I don't think it would be a problem with putting it in the envelope, but I just want to make sure that it's okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I stamped Merry Christmas, and then I die cut it with one of those dies out of the seasonal label die set, and this is where I'm going to put that. Now, doesn't that pop? Look at the difference. I just think it's two different cards altogether, actually. Okay, so we're going to put this down, and you know, I think I'll put dimensionals on that. Right here they are, right in front of me. So I'm going to put 3, one in the middle, Well, they want to stick on me instead of my sentiment. Well, what happened to it? Where'd it go? There's nothing but paper. Here we go. And get these papers off the backing. And I'm going to put it, it's hard to see. Yeah, I think that was pretty good, just like that. Okay, and these are Stampin' Dimensionals that are in our annual catalog. They come in the mini size as well, but these are the regular sized ones. Then I am going to use, I got to get them. Well, where are they? Seems like I put my jewels away. And I still needed them. So here they are. And these were in our catalog last year. But the red rhinestones that I showed you in our annual catalog will work. So I'm going to open this up. Now, one of my Stampin' Demonstrator friends, Susie Meadows, showed me a little trick that I'll show you when I put this back in the bag, because I've already messed up the possibility of doing that right now. So I am going to put that one there. Maybe I'll get a smaller one. There's 3 sizes. We'll put one here, or one, let's see, one right here. I like the way I did it on the other one, so I'm going to see if I can do the same thing. And one right there, like that. And that mimics these berries right here. Now here is this, I'm not really sure what it's made out. I think it's burlap bow. And I got this from Amazon. Stampin' Up! Did not have the size and color that I wanted. So I got this from Amazon in a roll like this. And it actually came, that's the wider shape. There's a wider one as well. But then there's a 2 of the narrow one. I think it's 1/4 of an inch as well. So you get 2 of both sizes. And I love it because it sort of glistens. Susan says she could see the glistening on camera, and I hope that you can too. But I think that's just the way they put it together, webbing. So I'm going to use, not that, the glue dots to put this down. They stick better. They help the bow to stick better. Let's see, you can't even see where I put it on. Did I put it on? I'm not sure that I did. Okay. Come on. It's sticky. Okay, and then I'm going to put this, let's see, just in this corner here, like that. Now, the great thing about this bow and this burlap ribbon, if you will, is that you can sort of curl it. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to curl one up, one down, sort of like that. I think that's pretty. Now, what we could do, like I said, we could put a little bit of gold and tip this. I think it would make a very, very pretty card. Let's see. This is getting lost. So why don't we put it over here instead? Just reverse this. We'll put this over here like that. There. There you go. Now we have a finished holiday card. So don't forget about this beautiful stamp set that's in the mini catalog. The Christmas season, the seasonal labels dies that go with it, and then on the next page, the Christmas to Remember. It's all in the annual catalog, and a beautiful set. So I want to thank you for being with me, Maria and Susan. I'm glad you found me at the later time. It was a time, but we did it. And so thank you for being here. And thank you if you do like what you've seen tonight, for those in the replay, if you could give me a thumbs up, possibly subscribe and hit that bell. It's free to do that, and you will be notified of when I will be putting out another video. So thanks for being with me. Make sure to visit my new website, cindyscreativecards.com, and I will see you next Wednesday. So until then, dream, create, and share. Bye, guys.